Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नितिनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and last time we discussed the beautiful song of gopis in which they have sung for the glorification of the flute, Venu Geet. And then we saw how Krishna tested the gopis, their love, by stealing their garments. And then after that we saw Krishna along with his cowherd friends, along with Balram, in the summer season. He's in the forest. So this Venu Geet and then this stealing of the garments happened in the winter season. And then in the summer season, Krishna, he went to the forest of Vrindavan with all his friends, and he glorified the trees of Vrindavan. He put the position of trees even higher than the human beings, because trees, they are living for the welfare of others. They are not living for themselves. Patra pushpa phalachhaya mool valkala darubhi gandh niryas bhasmasthi tokmai kaman vitanvate. The trees give so many things. So that's what we discussed. So now today we'll be discussing the 23rd chapter, the Brahmana's wives blessed. So the Gopas, when they were in the forest with Krishna, and Krishna is glorifying the trees of Vrindavan. So Gopas, they say, Rama Rama Mahabaho Krishna Dushta Nibarhana Eshave Badhate Shunna Tashantam Kartumarhatha. So Gopas, they are telling, O Ram, you are most powerful one. O Krishna, you are Dushta Nibarhana, you are the subduer of your enemies. You are subduer of the sinful people, Dushta Nibarhana. So, O Krishna, please subdue this hunger which is troubling us. Eshavai badhate kshunnas tashantum kartum arhatha. Please do something to satisfy our hunger. So then, Shukdev Goswami, he continues the narration. He says, Krishna, when he heard this request from the cowherd boys, he had some more things in his mind going on. He wanted to please the wives of the Brahmanas, who were the great devotees of Krishna. Iti vigyapito gopair bhagwan devaki sutah bhaktya viprabharyaya prasidan nidam abravit bhaktya viprabharya. So the Brahman Patnis, the wives of Brahmanas, they were the great devotees of Krishna. And Krishna, being the super soul in everyone's heart, being the omniscient personality, he knew the devotion of these Brahman Patnis. So to satisfy these Brahman Patnis, now Krishna, he starts speaking. He says, "Oh my friends, please go to the sacrificial arena. Very nearby, these Brahmanas, they are performing the sacrifice and they are doing Angiras Yagya. Please go and ask them for the food." So actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that Krishna, he wanted to show that these Brahmanas, although they are having high birth, having lots of Vedic knowledge, very expert in ritualistic ceremonies, but they do not receive the mercy of Krishna. On the contrary, the wives of these Brahmanas, because they had devotion in their heart, that devotion was pleasing to Krishna. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only my devotee can know me. So Krishna is not pleased by anything external of this world. No external qualification can please Krishna. Only bhakti can please Krishna. Tapasvino dan paraya shashvino manasvino mantra vido sumangalah Shemam na vindanti vinaya darpanam tasmai subhadra shravase namo namaha. So Shukdev Goswami describes in the second canto, in the glorification, he says, Tapasvino dan para yashashvino. Even the great yashash tapasvis, even the great givers of charity, manasvino, great thinkers, mantra vido, the knowers of all the mantras, sumangalah shemam na vindanti, they do not achieve success unless they offer it to Krishna with love and devotion. Only love and devotion pleases Krishna. This is the pastime which Krishna is showing, is manifesting to show this very important principle that none of the external qualifications can please Krishna. However expert we may be in our external dealings, in our capacity, in our skills, but if we don't have the devotional heart, all these external skills and qualifications, they are of no use. You may be a great manager, great singer, speaker, whatever you may be, but if you have no devotion in your heart, if you are doing all these things just to make a show how great you are, how wonderful you are, Krishna is not pleased by all that. We cannot impress Krishna by our skills, because Krishna is the embodiment of all the skills. He is the one who is giving all the skills. So therefore, we cannot please Krishna by any of these things. So this is the important principle which Krishna is going to show through this pastime of deliverance of Brahman Patnis. So Krishna, he tells his cowherd friends that, oh my friends, you go to these Brahmanas and please request some food from them. Because, and he says, please don't take my name first. Take name of Balram first. Because these Brahmanas, they consider Balram as a Kshatriya, because it was known by everyone that Balram is the son of Vasudeva and Rohini. So these Brahmanas, they would consider Balram as a Kshatriya and being higher. And they would consider Krishna as a Vaishya. So therefore, Krishna is telling that you go and ask in the name of Balram. Don't take my name first. So Jiva Goswami says that Krishna is telling to these cowherd friends that if you are feeling shy, then please don't take name of your parents, take our name. And that too, take the name of Balram first. So then the cowherd boys, when they heard this instruction from Krishna, they submitted to their request and they went to the place where these Brahmanas, they were performing the sacrifice. As soon as they reached this place, they offered their obeisances, they fell down completely flat on the ground, offered their full respects, started glorifying all these Brahmanas. So it is described there in the purport that this incidents very clearly describes that ritualistic Brahmanas, if they are not having any devotion unto Supreme Lord, they will not be able to please Krishna. As it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brahmananam sahasrebhya satrayaji vishishyate satrayaji sahasrebhya sarva vedanta paraga sarva vedanta vitkotya Vishnu bhakta vishishyate Vaishnavanam sahasrebhya ekante eko vishishyate. Out of thousands of Brahmanas, one who can perform a sacrifice is best. Thousands of those who can sacrifice, you can perform sacrifice, one who knows the Vedanta is the best. Out of thousands of those who know Vedanta, the devotee of Lord Vishnu is the best. Out of thousands of those who are devotees of Vishnu, Krishna Bhakta is the supreme. So therefore, this pastime very clearly shows to the whole world that if somebody is not a devotee, if he is not faithful to Krishna, then all the external qualifications are of no use. So all these cowherd friends, cowherd boys, they go and tell these Brahmanas, oh our dear Brahmanas, our friends Lord Ram and Lord Achyuta, they are tending cows near. And they are not far and they are hungry. If you have faith, then please give some food for them. And they say that we are asking for some rice. We are not asking for some very delicious dishes. Brahmanas may think, oh, Krishna and Balram, they are not Brahmanas. How can we give them first before giving and feeding to all these Brahmanas? The Gopas, they say, look, they are hungry. Anybody who is hungry, he deserves to be given food in charity. Then you should not think, oh, Brahmana should be fed first or Vaishyas should not be fed first. Anybody who is hungry, that person should be fed. Then, still they were seeing that these Brahmanas, they were not favorably inclined towards Krishna. So then they said, oh Brahmanas, if you have faith in Krishna and Balram, then please give some food. And then they sarcastically tell, you are knowers of dharma, right? So you should know the dharma. Now your sacrifice is almost over. Now you can give this food in charity. So in this way, they are trying to tell all these Brahmanas, they are requesting, they tell the technicalities of sacrifice. They say, oh Brahmanas, it is not contaminating for even a person who is not initiated. He can also take food if the sacrifice is about to get complete. So therefore, please give food in charity. And then they say that still they are not giving. So they say, so then Shukdev Goswami says, Iti te bhagavad yachanam shrunvato api na shushru shudrasha bhuri karmano balisha vriddhamaninaha. Very interesting verse now Shukdev Goswami speaking. Iti te bhagavad yachana. These Brahmanas already heard. They heard this request from these cowherd boys. Shrunvato api na shushru. They heard, but they refused to pay any heed to it. They did not pay any attention. They neglected this completely. Shrunvato api na shushru. Why? Shudrasha bhuri karmano. Their desires were petty. What was their desire? They were very materialistic, ritualistic Brahmanas. They were doing this yajna to get promotion to the heavenly planets. Shudra Asha. That's why it's called Shudra Asha. Their desire was not great. It was very petty desire, the desire for heavenly pleasures. Bhuri karmano, and for that they were engaging in such hard labor of this sacrifice. Balisha vriddhamanina, they were thinking, they were imagining themselves as great learned scholars, but actually they were inexperienced child-like fools. So it is described that it is described in the purport that, in today's age also people have such mentality. They may be doing big sacrifices, but the purpose is they want sense gratification. Bhagavad Gita also describes that a demoniac person also does sacrifice, but the purpose of his sacrifice is he wants to get sense gratification. He wants that he should be famous. So this mentality is still prevalent, you know. So when these, when then Shukdev Goswami says that now cowherd boys, when they saw that, oh, still they are not giving. So they say that, oh Brahmanas, one should not go into the technicalities of the sacrifice, because you should understand that the same Supreme Lord, who is the ultimate beneficiary of all the results of the sacrifices, whatever time, place, circumstance, or all the ingredients which are used in sacrifice, they are all the aspects of the opulences of Krishna. But these Brahmanas, they never saw Krishna as a supreme person. They considered Krishna as an ordinary personality. They failed to recognize Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. So when these cowherd boys, they saw that, oh, even after repeated requests, these Brahmanas, they are completely neglecting them. They are neither saying yes, neither no. So they became very sad, and they returned. And they were disappointed. They reported to Krishna and Balram. Very interestingly, as Shukdev Goswami is telling all these things, Parikshit Maharaj becomes angry. Why? अरे ऐसा कैसे नहीं दिया? How can they dare not to give some charity to Krishna and Balram? The personality, everything is belonging to him, and they are not giving. So Shukdev Goswami, he saw that Parikshit Maharaj is becoming angry. So he tells Parikshit, oh Parikshit, I can understand your emotions. If you would have been there, you must have, punished, you would have punished these Brahmanas. Even though they were Brahmanas, you would have punished them. That is how Parikshit Maharaj is. It happens always. Many times it is described, but it is always there. Parikshit Maharaj is right there, experiencing those emotions. We saw when Putana entered Gokula, Nayatra Shravanadini, Rakshoghnani. Before that, Shukdev Goswami begins, Sakhechari eko dotpatya Putana Valaghatini Shishum Chara Nigananti Puragrama Brajadishu. Putana is entering Gokul. Parikshit Maharaj becomes disturbed. To pacify Parikshit Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami says, Nayatra Shravanadini Rakshoghnani Swakarmasu Kurvanti Satvatam Bhartur Yatu Dhanyascha Tatrahi. Wherever there is chanting of the names of Krishna, there can be no fear. Then what to speak of if Krishna is personally there? So this mood of Parikshit Maharaj comes again and again. He's there experiencing all the emotions of the pastime. So when the Gopas, they returned disappointed, Parikshit Maharaj becomes angry. Now, the Gopas, they spoke to both of them, although they reported this to both of them. But Balram, he could not speak anything. Why? Because he was too angry. He was also very angry. How can they dare to refuse the request of my brother? So therefore now Krishna is pacifying the cowherd boys. Krishna says, he first of all laughed. Why he laughed? Because for Krishna it was just a fun. It was fun to ask food, because Krishna is the master of goddess of fortune. Everything is belonging to him. He does not need anything. So he was just enjoying all these pastimes. So the refusal of the request was not giving any, trouble to Krishna, because it was just a fun. So he laughed. And then he addressed all these cowherd boys about the ways in which the people act in this world. Chakravarti Thakur writes, Sanjeev Goswami writes that this special pastime is described to drive a very, very important point. So previously, Krishna described the trees to be superior than humans. Now, Krishna is going to describe that those who are devoted to the Vedic culture, Vedic sacrifices and all the ritualistic ceremonies, but they are not devotees. They end up suffering. All their endeavors, they go in vain, because ultimately any material endeavor has an end. However big you may become, but ultimately you have to surrender to the laws of nature. Unless you are a devotee of Krishna, you have to surrender to the material nature. Only a devotee of Krishna can transcend the material nature. So Krishna is performing this pastime to show to the whole world that just see these Brahmanas, they were very expert in everything, but still because they had no devotion, they became ultimately frustrated. They were defeated in their attempts. On the contrary, their wives, who were apparently ordinary, simple ladies, but they got the mercy of Krishna. So Krishna says, "Oh my dear friends, don't worry. This is the nature of this world. Sometimes a beggar should not feel any disgust. He should not feel morose if he's not given money. Now you don't worry. You go and approach the wives of the Brahmanas. Tell them that I am here with Balram. Don't tell them that I am hungry. Just tell them that I am here with Balram. And they will give you all the food. Don't worry." The cowherd boys may say, "But how will they give food? If we don't tell them that you are hungry, how will they give food?" Krishna says, "Arey, just by seeing you and understanding that you are hungry, they will give food for us also. You don't worry. You just go and ask them." "Arey, but their husbands will prevent them." Krishna says, "They will overcome all the obstacles and they will give. You just go and approach. Just see the great devotion of these wives of Brahmanas. You will see. They have great affection for me. They will definitely give everything." So then, hearing the request of Krishna, again these cowherd boys, they went to the house of the Brahman Patnis, where these Brahman Patnis were staying, and they bowed down to these ladies. These ladies, they had completed all their rituals, all their assistance to the husbands. They had made all the wonderful preparations. They had taken bath and they were dressed very nicely in beautiful, wonderful ornaments and garments, and they were sitting very peacefully talking about Krishna. At that time, these cowherd boys, they approached these ladies. They addressed them in all humility. They said, "O ladies, we offer our obeisances unto you. Kindly hear our words. Krishna is there nearby and he has sent us to you. So please, you should know that he has come with friends and he is hungry." Krishna told them, "Please don't tell that we are hungry," but still they tell. They say, "Oh, he's hungry and please give them some food." Actually, when Brahman Patnis, they saw why these boys, they told that they are hungry. Because when Brahman Patnis, when they heard the word Krishna, they fainted. So to bring them back to the consciousness, these cowherd boys, they tell, "Oh, Krishna is hungry." They began to explain why they had come. So then they came back to the consciousness and they heard their request. Then, as soon as they heard, Shrutva Chutam Upayatam Nityam Taddarshanotsukaha Tad Katha Kshipta Manaso Babhuvor Jata Sambramaha. When they heard Shrutva, Achyutam upayatam. As soon as they heard that Krishna has come, Nityam tad darshana utsuka. These ladies, from their childhood, they had heard about Krishna. Now, from the fruit vendors, from the garland sellers, from the betel nut sellers, they had heard about the glories of Krishna. Nityam tad darshanotsuka. They were always very, very eager to see Krishna. So then, because they had heard about Krishna, their minds were absorbed in Krishna. Tad katha akshipta manasaha. Their minds were completely absorbed in Krishna katha. Babhuvur jata sambhrama. As soon as they heard that their dear object of love has come, they became so very excited. This is the glory of hearing Krishna katha. We know in the pastime of Rukmini Devi, Rukmini also developed such intense love for Krishna. Although she had never heard Krishna, she had never seen Krishna. She had just heard about Krishna. She had heard from all the saintly people, the sages who would come and they would glorify Krishna in the assembly of her father. And in this way, she developed such intense attraction for Krishna. So when she wrote a letter to Krishna, she says, Shrutva gunan bhuvana sundara shinvatam te nirvishya karna vivarai harato angatapam rupam drisham drishimatam akhilartha labham tvayachyuta vishati chittama patrapam me. She's saying, Shrutva gunan, O greatest of the personalities, the most beautiful personality of all the universe, I have heard about your glories. Shrutva gunan. Bhuvana Sundara Shinvatam, I have heard your glories. That's how I have developed attraction for you. This is the secret of developing attraction for Krishna. When we hear again and again, by hearing, this process of hearing awakens the dormant love for Krishna which is there in the heart. So as soon as they heard, these Brahman Patnis, they heard that, oh, Krishna has come personally. Immediately they got up. They took all the large vessels and they had made various types of food preparations, 4 types of food preparations, that which is licked, sucked, eaten and swallowed. They took all of them in those big, big vessels, and just as the rivers, they flow towards the sea, these Brahman Patnis immediately they started towards for the place where Krishna was there. Very interestingly. Shrutva achyuta upayatam nityam tad darshanotsukaha. Nityam tad darshanotsukaha. They wanted to see Krishna always. But as soon as they started, accumulating everything and putting in the vessels, their brothers, their husbands, their relatives, they objected. Oh, what are you doing? Where are you going? निषिध्यमाना पतिभिर भ्रातृभिर बंधुभिस्तुतै भगवती उत्तम श्लोके दीर्घ श्रुत धृताशया. Nishidhyamana, they were objected, they were obstructed by their husbands, by their brothers, by their friends and relatives. But Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Dirgha Shruta, because they had heard about Krishna for a long, long time, they could not stop. Just like Ganga flows towards the ocean, they were dragged towards the place where Krishna was there. They were attracted to that place. As Kunti Maharani says, Tvai me ananya vishaya matir madhupate sakrit ratim udvata madha gange vokham mudanvati. Just like Ganga flows towards ocean, let my consciousness flow towards you, O Krishna. So devotee never keeps anything. Nothing can hold devotee from going to Krishna, and devotee holds nothing. He offers his everything to Krishna. So that's what these Brahman Patnis are doing. This act of rejecting the instructions of the husbands and relatives, it is a big thing. In the Vedic culture, where the wives, the ladies, they would never ever go out of the house without the permission of their husband. They would always be chaste. They would always, follow their husbands. But now, this act of rejecting the instructions of the superiors, going to Krishna, it meant that they would not be allowed again, but they were ready to do that. So they left their husbands, they did not hear, and they went to the place where Krishna was there. Yamunopavane shoke navapallava mandite vicharantam vritam gopair sagrajam dadrishu striyah. And then they reached the bank of Yamuna. Navapallava mandite. So this Yamuna, the shore of Yamuna, was having a very beautiful garden decorated with birds of lotus and birds of Ashoka trees. Vicharantam vritam gopair sagrajam dadrishu striya. There, these Brahman Patnis, they saw the younger brother of Balram moving along with his friends. What did they see? What was the beauty of Krishna which they observed? Very beautiful verse comes. Shyamam hiranya paridhim vanamalya barha dhatu pravala natavesha manuvratamshe vinyasta hastamitareena dhunanam abjam karnotpalalaka kapola mukhabjahasam. So this beautiful picture very nicely encapsulates this entire verse. Whatever is there in this verse, it is portrayed in this picture. Shyamam, Krishna was having a blackish complexion. Hiranya paridhim, he was wearing a yellow garment. Vanamalya, he had a beautiful Vaijayanti mala made of different colors. He had a beautiful peacock feather on his head, Baraha. And his friends, whenever they would go to forest with Krishna, they would decorate Krishna with painting from all the forest minerals. Dhatu pravala. And with the twigs and the birds, they would decorate Krishna nicely. In this way, Krishna was dressed in a very beautiful way, just like a dramatic dancer. Natavesham. And what else he was doing? With his left hand, he was putting on the shoulder of Balram. With his right hand, Anubra, Vinyasta Hastamitarena, with his right hand, he was twirling a lotus flower. Vinyasta Hastamitarena Dhunanam Abjam. And he was having a Utpala. Karnotpala Laka Kapol. He was having a Utpala flower on his ears. Mukhabjahasam. And he was having a beautiful, beautiful smile. The smile of Krishna is the most beautiful thing. Krishnangalavanyapur madhur hoite sumadhur tate ei mukha sudhakar. Madhur hoite sumadhur taha hoite sumadhur tate ei smita jyotsna bhar. Kaviraj Goswami describes the beauty of Krishna. Krishnangalavanyapur, Krishna's body is a city of beauty. Madhur hoite sumadhur, and even in this body, the face of Krishna is most beautiful. In that face of Krishna, the smile of Krishna is the most beautiful thing. So these Brahman Patnis, they were having conjugal feelings for Krishna. So when they saw Krishna, they became completely absorbed. So Krishna, as he's twirling lotus flower in his hand, he's telling these Brahman Patnis, "O Brahman Patnis, I am twirling this lotus flower just to show that I have accepted your hearts. And I am completely conquered by your love and devotion." Then these Brahman Patnis, when they saw Krishna, what they did. Again, another very beautiful verse comes. Prayah shruta priya tamodaya karna purai yasmin nimagna manasa tamatha kshirandhrai antah praveshya suchiram parirabhya tapam pragyam yathabhimatayo vijahu narendraha. So when these Brahman Patnis, they saw Krishna for the first time, their object of love and devotion. Prayah Shruta, they had heard about Krishna for a long time. Now they were seeing him for the first time. What they did? Yasmin nimagna manasaha tamathakshiranre. Their minds were already absorbed. So with their aperture of their eyes, they forced Krishna to enter in their hearts. Antah praveshya suchiram. For a long time, they embraced Krishna in their hearts. Mentally, they embraced. And in this way, they became free from all the distress of separation for so long time. Just like the saintly people, the great sages, by giving up their false ego, they become completely satisfied. These Brahman Patnis, by embracing Krishna in their hearts, they became completely satisfied. So Krishna, when he saw these ladies coming with such love and devotion, he understood the emotions and sentiments of these ladies. These ladies, they had abandoned everything. All worldly hopes they had abandoned, and they had come there to surrender to Krishna. But when they saw Krishna, they were stunned. They could not speak anything. They could not even move, as we heard in the Venu Geet. That is the beauty of Krishna. So these ladies, they became stunned. So Krishna, he started speaking. Just like the gopis, when they came in the Ras Leela, exactly the same things what Krishna told to gopis, he's telling here to all these Brahman Patnis. Swagatam vo mahabhaga asyatam karvam kim yanno didriksha prapta upapannam idam viva. He says, "O great chaste ladies, O most fortunate ladies, Mahabhaga, welcome, please come. Please sit comfortably. Asyatam, please sit. Karvam kim, please tell me what can I do for you." Very interestingly. He's saying, "Oh, you have come here to see me is most appropriate." He actually, agrees that, "Oh, you have come here giving up your husbands. That is most appropriate thing." So now, but externally, he internally, he knows the reason that why these Brahman Patnis have come. They want to surrender to me. Externally, he's asking, "Why have you come here? What can I do for you?" So Krishna is now speaking in Aishwarya Bhav. He says, "O ladies, Nanvadhamai kurvanti kushala swardarshinaha ahetuk avyavahita bhaktim atma priye yatha." He says, certainly great personalities who can see their true welfare, they render unalloyed, uninterrupted devotion unto me. Ahetuki apratihata. So therefore, you have surrendered to me. You have surrendered your body, mind, friends, everything and you have surrendered your own self. But actually, I am the dearmost object of everyone. So therefore, you have rightly surrendered unto me. I am the super soul in everyone's heart, and you have surrendered unto me. That is the right thing you have done. But now, oh my dear ladies, please go back. Please go back, and you should assist your husbands, all these Brahmanas, in doing their sacrificial ceremony. Your husbands needs assistance. Please go and help them. So when these Brahman Patnis, they hear all these things, just like the gopis, they also become very much disturbed. They could not speak. And then somehow they start speaking. Maivam vibho arahati bhavan gaditam nishamsam satyam kurushva nigamam tava pada moolam prapta vayam tulusidam pada visrishtam keshar nivodhumatilangya samasta bandhum. O Krishna, how are you? Why? How can you speak in such a cruel way? We have left our everything and we have come here to take your shelter, and you are speaking in such cruel way. Rather, what you should do, because we have surrendered unto your lotus feet, tava padamulam, we have surrendered. Therefore, you should fulfill your promise. What is your promise? You have given your promise that you always reciprocate with your devotees. So now why are you not reciprocating with us? Please do not do this. In fact, if you are thinking that, oh, we are aristocratic Brahmana ladies and you are a cowherd boy, how can you accept us? You should understand we have given our designation as the wives of Brahmanas. Please accept us. And Krishna may say that, but I am a cowherd boy and my maid servants and my girlfriends are gopis. How can you accept? How can I accept you as my maid servant? Because they are saying, Arey, we will stay in the forest. We will just be satisfied with the tulsi leaves which are touching your feet. We are your maid servant. Krishna says, Arey, my maid servants, my girlfriends are gopis. How can I accept you? The Brahman Patnis, they say, if you are embarrassed of us becoming your maid servant, will not come to you, will not come in the village with you. We'll stay in the Vrindavan forest. As a presiding deity of Vrindavan, we will stay in Vrindavan, will not come to village. And whenever you come to Vrindavan, we'll just be satisfied by putting that tulsi which is offered at your lotus feet on our head. We'll be satisfied with that. Just allow us to be here. Arey, but what will your family members say? These Brahman Patnis, they say, we have given up all our connection with our family members. We have already surrendered our lives to you. We have nothing to do with our family members. You just accept us. These gopis, they say, from our youth, we are hearing about your glories. We have given our mind to you. From the garland makers, from the betel nut sellers, we would always hear your glories. And because we have heard your glories so much, anyways, we cannot focus on our household duties. Our husbands, they have already given up on us. So therefore, you don't think about our parents. They say our husbands, our brothers, our relatives, they are no longer having any interest in us. They will not welcome us again. We have already thrown us at your lotus feet, O Krishna. Please don't reject us. Please accept us. We have taken your shelter. In this way, they are weeping and they touch their heads at the feet of Krishna, making this request. So now, when Krishna he hears such requests from these Brahman Patnis, he starts speaking. He says, O Brahman Patnis, O ladies, be rest assured that your husbands will not be inimical towards you. Don't think that they will beat you or they'll kill you because you have offended them. They will welcome you very nicely. I will personally instruct them. I will advise them about the situation and they will have no ill feelings toward you. In fact, the sacrifice which they are doing, the devatas, predominating devatas of that sacrifice will appear and they will assure about you to your husbands. So don't worry. Just go back. You'll not be threatened. You'll not be insulted. You'll be welcomed properly. These Brahman Patnis may think, oh, will our desires be fulfilled? You are telling us to go back. But will our desires be fulfilled? With their eyes full of tears, they are glancing towards Krishna. Krishna says, O gopis, O Brahman Patnis, for you to remain in my bodily association, it will not be welcomed by people of the world. People will criticize you. People will insult you. And if you go back, it will increase your love for me. Love in separation is even greater. So you please go back. So Krishna wanted to tell these Brahman Patnis that please experience the Vipralamba Bhav. Go back. Then he speaks this beautiful verse. Shravanad darshanad dhyanan mai bhavo nu kirtanat na tatha sannikarshena pratiyata tato grihan. Shravanad darshanad dhyanad. How to develop attraction for Krishna? By hearing, by seeing, by remembering Krishna. Mai bhavanu kirtanat, by glorifying me, not by physical proximity. One cannot achieve me by just being near me. If one hears always my glories, if one takes darshan of my beautiful form, if one is remembering me always, then he can achieve me. So in this way, instructing all these ladies, they returned back. They followed the instructions of Krishna with a very heavy heart. They returned. The Brahmanas, they did not find any fault when these wives returned. In fact, they completed the sacrifice with the help of their wives. Then Shukadeva Goswami describes the power of Krishna Prem. That day, one lady, she was forcibly kept back by the husbands and she could not go to meet Krishna. Shukadeva Goswami says that because of the intense separation from Krishna, she embraced Krishna in her heart and she gave up her material body. And in the spiritual body, she went and she was there with Krishna. That is the power of Krishna's love. One is ready to give up everything material to attain Krishna. That is the intention, that is the prime desire of a devotee. He is ready to give up anything. And the gopis and these Brahman Patnis, they are the emblem of surrender to Krishna, who are ready to give up everything for the pleasure of Krishna. Nothing in return. These Brahman Patnis, they are saying, we will not go with you. We don't want conjugal love from you. We'll be just happy by putting the tulsi on our head, which is touching your feet. That is their ultimate highest devotion. So then after these Brahman Patnis, they left. So Govinda, Krishna, he fed all his cowherd friends. He himself took all these prasad, all this food very nicely. And in this way, imitating the movements of all the humans, he pleased cowherd boyfriends, cowherd girlfriends, he pleased his cows. And in this way, he was giving pleasure to all the residents of Vrindavan by his beauty, by his words, by his actions. Now, when Brahmanas, they saw that these ladies, when they returned, they were exhibiting symptoms of ecstasy. They were crying, they were fainting, their voices were getting choked. Various types of ecstatic symptoms were appearing in the bodies of these ladies. When these Brahmanas, when they saw the most exalted position of their wives, they came to their senses. They realized what they have done. They said, oh, it is so very shameful. We have sinned. We have denied the request of the two lords. The Supreme Personality of Godhead himself sent these friends of them. And we could not understand. We could not recognize them. We are condemned. And when they saw the devotion of their wives, how they had given up everything and they had gone to meet Krishna, they actually accepted their wives as their gurus. And they actually again and again started condemning themselves. Dhik janmanas trividyattat dhikvratam dhikbahugyatam dhikkulam dhikkriya daksham vimukhaye tvadokshaje. They say, dhik janma, to hell with our threefold birth. Dhik vrata, to hell with our vows. Dhik bahugyatam, to hell with our knowledge. Dhik kulam, to hell with our high birth. Dhik Kriya Dakshyam, to hell with our all the expertise in performing all the sacrifices. Why? Vimukhaya Dhokshaje. Are with all these, we could not please Krishna. We were against Krishna. But just see these ladies. They were not expert in any of these things. They had no second initiation or third initiation. They are not so scholarly, but still they had such intense devotion for Krishna. Though we are husbands, we are supposed to be the gurus of the common men, but these ladies, they have shown by their personal example that actually this is the ideal thing which we should be doing. So therefore, we accept them as our gurus. And then they say, just see this illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. Nunam bhagavato maya yoginam api mohinim yadvayam guravo nrinam swarte muhyamahe dvija. Just see the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which can bewilder even the great mystics. Mayinam api mohinim, yoginam api mohinim. We were considering ourselves to be the great spiritual teachers, the masters of the society. But we have been bewildered by the illusory energy. We did not know our own real self-interest. So when these ladies, they returned, the Brahmanas, when they saw this wonderful ecstatic symptoms manifesting in the bodies of these ladies, they were completely surprised. Somebody may say, how? Oh, it is improper for women to leave the husband and go to other men. These Brahmanas, they understood, no, this is the right thing. Actually, these women, they understood, although they left us, we are the husbands, we are the gurus, but they left for whom? They left for the Supreme Jagat Guru. They left for Krishna. That is the ideal thing which everybody has to do. And these ladies, these are our wives, they understood. They have left everything to surrender to that Supreme Guru. And we have no attachment for the Supreme Lord. These ladies, they have such intense attachment for the Supreme Lord. So therefore, we accept them as our Guru. Just see the unlimited love these ladies have for the Supreme Lord. And they say, actually, this love which they have for Krishna, it has broken all the bonds of death. They have become eternal by their devotion. They are thinking, we don't know how they developed this extraordinary love for Krishna. They were not expert in purificatory ceremonies. They didn't perform any. They didn't get brahmachari training. They didn't do any austerity. They didn't do any philosophical speculation. We don't know from where they got this love for Krishna. Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually the cause of the bhakti of these Brahman Patnis was they were hearing about Krishna. And these Brahmanas, they did not know. They did not know that these ladies, they were constantly hearing about Krishna. And that's why they have developed such affection. There is nothing which can stop one from practicing devotional service. Bhakti is ahetuki and apratihata. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahetukya pratihata yayatma suprasidati. Ahetuki and apratihata. Apratihata means it cannot be stopped, it cannot be hindered by any external qualification. Whoever you may be, even if you are born in a family of dog eaters. Aho batshpacho atho garyan yajjihvagre vartate nama tubhyam te pustapaste juhvu shashnurarya brahmanuchurg nam grinanti ete. If you have taken birth in the family of dog eaters, but if a person is chanting the names of Krishna, yat jihva agre, if on the tip of his tongue the name of Krishna is always there, Vartate Nama Tubhyam, Are, you should consider him to be greater than all the Brahmanas. Vyadhasya charanam dhruvasya chavayo vidya gajendrasya ka kubjaya kimunama rupa adhikam kim tat sudamno dhanam vamshasko vidurasya yadavapate ugrasya kim paurusham bhaktya tushyati kevalam na cha gunai bhakti priyo madhava. Krishna is not pleased by any external thing, any qualification, any skill, any capability. You cannot please Krishna, you cannot impress Krishna. What was the qualification of the Dharmavyad? What was the age of Dhruva? What was the wealth of Sudama? What was the beauty of Kubja? What was the family of Vidura? What was the strength of Ugrasena? Bhaktya tushyati kevalam nachagunai. You cannot please Krishna by your external qualities. Only by devotion you can please Krishna. And these Brahmanas, they were completely confused. Arey, ye aaya kidhar se inke paas itna prem? How did they develop such love? They didn't know that they were hearing about Krishna constantly. They say, indeed, we were so very infatuated in our household affairs that actually we have deviated from our ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is to develop love for Krishna, love for the Supreme Lord, and we got deviated. And just see, now the Lord, he sent his cowherd friends just to bring us back to this realization. Otherwise, what is the reason why Lord would send all these friends to us? He does not need anything. He sent these cowherd boys just to bring us back on the path. That is the causeless mercy of Krishna. Otherwise, we have no qualification. Krishna has shown such mercy on us. Otherwise, what is the need for Krishna to beg? Who is Krishna? He is the husband of goddess of fortune. Lakshmi Devi is eager to serve Krishna. He gives up his fickle nature, restless nature, and she's there. She's there always serving Krishna, massaging the feet of Krishna. Krishna does not need anything. Why he will beg? He sent his friends just to remove our pride. That's all. There is no other reason. So therefore, they come to the conclusion that all the various aspects of sacrifice, the time, place, ingredients, whatever, Krishna is the ultimate object of surrender of all these things. All these are coming from Krishna and they have to be offered to Krishna. So therefore, they say, although we have heard about Supreme Lord, but we could not recognize when he himself came. And then they begged for mercy. Tasmai namo bhagavate krishnaya kuntamedase yanmaya mohitadhiya brahmana karma vartmasu. Let us offer our obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, akuntamedase, who never gets deviated in his intelligence. And we who are confused by the illusion, we are wandering in this cycle of fruitive activities. So now our only hope is if you forgive us, O our Lord. Savaina adya purusha swamaya mohitatmanam avigyata nubhavanam shantum arhatya atikramam. So they say, O my Lord, please forgive us. Or Lord, please forgive us. That is our only hope. If you forgive us, then we can have some hope. But still, even after asking for forgiveness, they did not go to Krishna. Krishna was there. They did not go to Krishna. They did not go to Braja to ask forgiveness from Krishna personally. Why? Because they were fearful of Kamsa. Because they were thinking, if Kamsa comes to know then he will create some problem. The ladies, they had no fear of Kamsa because they had intense love for Krishna. But these Brahmanas, they were not yet completely purified. Therefore, they could not go to meet Krishna. So that is the end of this chapter. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Anybody has any questions, you can please ask. Okay, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.